Hi everyone, and welcome to the launch of Workflows for Lime CRM, a brand new piece of the platform for creating seamless integrations, powerful automations, and really sophisticated AI agents. My name is Magnus. I'm the head of pricing and partnerships, and I'm joined here today with two brilliant colleagues, Philip, our chief product officer, and Frederick, product manager responsible for workflows. So a quick reminder before we get started, please ask your questions in the chat as we go. We'll try to answer as many as we can during this session. If we don't manage, we'll stay in the chat and answer them afterwards. So what we'll cover today is why we built Workflows for Lime CRM, the problem that we are trying to solve, and why now. We're going to look deep into what Workflows actually is and giving you some live demo examples before we wrap up with some information on how to get started today. So, Philip, great to have you here. Let's dive straight in. When we talk to customers, we keep hearing the same frustration over and over again, right? Disconnected systems, too much manual work, data that exists but doesn't really drive action.
Yeah.
And what are you seeing from a bigger picture perspective, and why is it the right time to do something about it now?
Yeah. Thank you, Magnus. Great question, right? So I think it's primary three things. And some of these things we have heard for a long time, and some of them are really, just occurring. So first, we're seeing our customers having more and more systems out there, more and more data islands where data, are separated from the organization, from the users. And we really, want to help solve that problem, to bring all the data into one place where you can get all the benefits, get that 360 view of your customer. And until this day, that has been really, time consuming, difficult to get that problem solved. So for a lot of companies out there, a lot of our customers, they've just, not been capable of doing it. So I would say that was like the first real problem. The second is a big shift where we're seeing that like automation is becoming table stakes for our customers, where they need to be more efficient internally, but also their customers really have new requirements or new wishes to be able to do more things self-service. So automation is more important than ever. And then finally, now with the rise of AI, we are absolutely seeing that if you want efficient AI agents, if you will be able to create these great agent systems, you need the data in one place. You need to get it in there so the agents can be really efficient.
Cool. And for the teams that really doesn't get this right, what does it cost them?
I mean, you can do the math. And we have, and it's fairly, easy to even look at small teams. Take 10 people. The hour starts adding up if you do a lot of like manual labor, a lot of looking for data, a lot of that stuff, and it can become very, very quickly thousands of hours for a small team. And if you add the costs on that, that's a lot of money for even small teams. But to be very honest, I mean, that's not where the real magic happens, right? That is in the opportunity cost of not being that customer automated, that kind of, best vendor for your customers, and being really automated, efficient, and have all the data. That's where the cost is.
Cool. So basically two parts, one direct cost and one like missed opportunity cost.
Exactly.
All right. So the question becomes, what if your CRM actually could do something about it? And Frederick, that sets the scene perfect. What have we done with Workflows?
Well, we wanted to address three things. We want to be able to integrate and automate and elevate your Lime CRM with Workflows. What we did is that we added a workflow editor and platform, running the workflows, of course, inside Lime CRM. So you can do all that within Lime CRM. And that is to address 3 things. Number 1, seamless integrations. So built in will be connectors to over 1,000 different applications. But you can also connect it to any application out there, modern or legacy. There are some built-in tools to handle anything generic like an HTTP call, webhooks, FTP uploads, or any file interactions you need to do. And it also allows you to set up the integrations the way that they are supposed to be built. We're not forcing you to build them in a certain way. You can have them bidirectional, scheduled, based on triggers, event-based, whatever suits that integration best. Number 2, powerful automations. So we know that there are a lot of things you need to do inside Lime CRM with the data you have. And that could be triggered either by manual actions or user click somewhere, or automatic when some data is updated, or even scheduled. And that lets you streamline your processes and, for example, generate data on a recurring basis. For example, generating orders every time there is a new quarter, because you're having an agreement saying you have quarterly based orders, for example. Or just do more simple things like routing leads, categorize tickets, and things like that. But the number 3 thing is sophisticated AI agents. So what do we mean by that, sophisticated? Well, we mean that AI should come in where it's very natural that it comes in. So we should stop thinking about an AI agent as something that can do only one thing. Sure, that could be the case as well. We can also combine different AI capabilities into one bigger workflow, addressing more complex needs. Also, you can have the AI appear in your integration, inside the actual integration, doing something there where it makes sense that it appears and does its job. And you can also combine this and mix it up with human oversight and human input. So the AI and human can work together in a very nice way. And the key thing here is there is no coding required. You can do a lot without writing a single line of code. And that is really opening up the doors for more people to do more things on their own with Lime CRM.
That sounds amazing. So if I just get this right, this functionality and the capability of workflows, it works for any kind of team, not only like a sales team or sales processes, right?
Exactly. It doesn't matter which team it is. We see needs across the board. Sales, marketing teams, customer service, management, or operations. There are needs to automate things and to integrate and use AI everywhere, basically. And the best way to show what it's actually about is to show a demo, right? So let's jump into that.
Yeah.
All right, let's try to build a workflow. We're going to build an integration to Microsoft Teams. And I've already prepared here and added to credentials. We need to authenticate ourselves to Teams, of course, and to Lime CRM as well. But let's start. I am thinking that we want to listen to whenever there is an updated deal in Lime CRM, we want to post to Teams and say we want a deal. If we want the deal, we need to check that as well. So I'm going to add a Lime CRM trigger, basically saying that every time we update a deal, we will trigger this workflow. And I'm going to go ahead and name nodes very carefully here, and you'll see later why that is so good. So let's start listening to events here and see if we can catch anything when we do an update in Lime. So I'm going to head over to my Lime and mark a deal as agreement. We've won it now. That's great. We have some AI helping us out here inside Lime to make the deal have the correct data, look nice. So did we catch anything? Yes, we did. We got all the data. I'm using the JSON view because I think that's a bit better. We got all the new values and all the change values as well. The original values, the old ones. And I can pin this data now, so I can use it throughout when I'm building the workflow. It won't obviously be used when we use it for real event and listen to real events, but for now, in the editor, I can do it. And the next thing is, of course, I need to filter out now and check that we should only advance here if it actually was a won deal. So we need to check that the new deal status is agreement and that the old deal status was not agreement. So I'm going to put that as is not equal to agreement. And as you can see, it's drag and drop. You pick the properties from the left. You see all the input data to the left. You have the settings of the node here in the middle. You just need to fix one more thing here to make it really secure. And to the right, you see the outputs. So I'm going to execute that, and then I can see that, okay, we kept this item in the filter node. And make sure to name it, of course. Check if won deal. All right, we have 2 nodes. Let's continue. The next thing I want to do is to use one of the actions in Lime CRM. We have a few here. We will keep on adding more things you can do. And I want to get an object here because I got some information about the deal. But if I'm going to make a nice Teams post, I need to know also a little bit about the company, the name of the company. And it's as easy as this. I just specify I want to fetch a company, and I just give the ID, which I got from the deal trigger. So just specify that and give it a good name, get the customer name, and we'll try to execute that and see if we get anything. There we go, we got 1 item, that's good. As you can see, I'm going to do the same thing now, just get the coworker as well. But as you can see, when I'm naming the nodes carefully, as you will see soon, he's going to pick there we go, coworker. We got a coworker, great. Yeah, as you can see, when we're thorough with the naming of the nodes, it makes the overview really clear. What is going on in the workflow? You can see it directly here in the overview. You know exactly what we're doing where, which is a great thing compared to having everything written in code that you can't even access or read. And yeah, this is really a great overview, even if you're not the one editing and building the workflow. The last thing we want to do is, of course, to post to Teams. And there are some built-in nodes for Teams, some built-in actions. There is actually one fitting with what I want to do, and that's create the message in a channel. And it's very simple. I can just pick, I have my credential already, found that. I can just pick which team and then which channel within that team. I want to post to the business feed. I prepared an HTML I'm going to paste in because yeah, I thought it was a bit too boring to watch me try to get that one right. Not that it's too complicated, but still for a demo, you know. Was this correct? Well, this is what it looks like when it is correct from the Teams API. But if you don't trust me, then let's head over to Teams and actually check if we got a new message. So we have the business feed here. Do we get a new message? Yes, here it is. It's the right company, the right deal, and the right value and everything. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks for a great demo, Frederick. It looks super easy to understand and create these workflows. And when I've been talking internally to teams trying this out, what strikes me is that there's a lot of different use cases that we can solve with workflows. Everything from AI-generated communications to deep system integrations to intelligent routing, and they all run on the same platform. And what is your kind of take, and what does people say internally to you when you've been trying it out?
Yeah, I think what strikes me is that even though we want to inspire everybody and show examples of what you can do and try to tell people what's great about this, you can do this and that and so on. But in the end, it's about inspiration because there are so many use cases that we can't write down in advance. There are so many cases that people will come up with and are coming up with once they've gotten started, once they've seen what it can do, gotten a bit of a feel for it, how it works. They come up with tons of different use cases that will be impossible for us. So it's more about the general purpose tool than to say this is a tool to do X and Y. That's what strikes me. And also the fact that we are trying to say that it's easy to get started and to build, and it turns out it actually is. People are quite fast learning how to build workflows and how to master them and what to do and what not to do and so on.
Cool.
But yeah, the last demo didn't have anything about AI. Maybe we should ramp it up a bit and do something where we also use AI in a workflow.
I think AI is something that all our listeners and viewers are very interested to learn more about. So let's take a look at an example where we're using AI in workflows as well.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's have a look at how we can use AI to make our lead flow really great. Here is the lead table in my Lime CRM. We have a filter called New Leads Up for Grabs. Somebody needs to take a look at these leads and start working on them. And who am I here? Well, I am a representative of the company called Java Journeys, which is selling coffee machines, equipment, coffee beans, and different services related to coffee machines. We're selling to different offices and also to maybe small bars and stuff that want to offer high quality coffee to their guests, or just if you want to have a great coffee machine in your office. Now, I want to make sure that we save time here on two things. Number one, I don't want anybody to work on a lead before we know that it's actually a good lead. And number two, I don't want anybody to have to start from scratch. So how can we do that? Well, we have a lead form that I'm going to put on my website. I need to style it a bit, of course, but it's a very simple and standardized contact form. Basically, you fill in some information in it and give a little message, and then I know who you are, and we can be in touch, and I can check if you're a potential customer of ours. And of course, I need to use a workflow here to make this really, really great. And this workflow, I've already built it. We're not going to build it from scratch in this demo, but I'm going to walk you through piece by piece and part by part in it. It consists of three main parts. The first one is to gather and verify the lead. So we get it from a website, we'll listen to contact form submissions, and get that data into the workflow. And the second one is about to qualify the lead, how we do that. And then, of course, once we've qualified it, we need to create the lead in Lime CRM. So we have a bunch of things going on in Lime CRM there. So let's have a look at how it works. And we're going to use AI in three different ways here. That's the interesting part, I think. And we could be using Lime CRM AI. That will be possible. But I'm using Anthropic here. But okay, let's take it from the start. We're going to listen to contact form submissions. So in the first part here, okay, what does that look like? This is a node that triggers whenever you fill in a form. So let's take from the start here and do the whole flow. So we're going to unpin our old test data and listen for new test data, and I'm going to fill in the form. Give some details here. Don't you wish everybody fills in forms this nicely with all their perfect information? And maybe add some little message there. I mean, we drink a lot of coffee in our offices. I want to make them ready that we want to have a lot of coffee. Submit the form, and we head back to the workflow and see, do we get any test data there? Yes, we did. We got the form response. Great. We have it here now. Some info about the form and the actual fields I filled in as well. The info is right there. First name, last name, email, and so on. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that this is actually a real submission. It's not just some spam or some random thing. And I'm going to use Anthropic here, as I mentioned. And I'm going to use one of their cheaper models, Haiku, because I don't want to spend, the reason why I have this step is I don't want to spend too much money and too much tokens, basically, on trying to work with qualify this lead until I know that it's actually not spam. So I'm going to send in a pretty simple prompt, and I'm going to give it some information about what was filled in, and just tell it, hey, analyze this. Is it a valid or not valid form submission? So we got some JSON back. I asked it to give me some JSON, and it looks a bit, it's just like one string right now. So I'm going to parse it to make it, doing that here, to make it into any JSON I can actually work with. There is a different way of doing this as well. I'm going to show you later. But we got here the recommended action is proceed, and is it likely a real company? Yes, it is. That's true, and also some reasoning about it. That it seems legit. Great. So I know that now. Now we're done with the first part here. We got the information, and we know that this is actually something we would like to work with and spend a little AI tokens on. First of all, I'm going to check if we should proceed or not before we go ahead. Of course, we filter out if we shouldn't proceed, but yeah, we're going to proceed. It says yes, it's fine. Now I'm going to use a node here for a service called Perplexity. It's an AI service that is specialized in making researches. I'm going to give it a very simple task. Research this lead for a customer, and the customer is a company, and here is the information that I got from the form. I'm just going to give it over to Perplexity and ask it to do its job, basically. So let's see what it gives us. And this is the part where I get more information about the company than I would have gotten otherwise. The person filling out the form only gave me that it's called Lime CRM, Lime Technologies. But here I got the pretty full report on what is actually Lime Technologies for kind of company, and what do they do, and things like that. And now I can actually move on. With that information, I can feed that into another AI node. And I'm going to rate the lead now based on the ICP that we have defined at Java Journeys. So our ideal customer profile. Again, I'm going to use Anthropic here as a chat model. It will be possible to use Lime CRM as a model. And I'm also providing a structured output parser, it's called. But that's basically telling it, this is the output I want. This is the format of the JSON that I want. And so I'm going to give it the Perplexity report, sorry. And I'm also going to give it a longer system prompt here, telling it to, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, rate the lead this and that way, and here is the big ICP description, our ideal customer profile. Who are we? Who do we want to sell to? Who are we targeting? And then it's supposed to match this and see is this a good lead or not. Is it hot, medium, cold, or is it even spam according to this AI? And it tells that the priority should be medium here. There are some good things. There are some not so perfect matched things as well. And I told it to give me a next step. If it is a medium or hot, provide me a next step. What do you think I should do next? And so it gives me that as well. And this is the data I need to be able to create the lead in Lime CRM. So let's head over to the last part here. Create the lead. We want to of course, try to link it to data we already have in Lime CRM. So we want to try to find the person based on the email. I'm not going to go through all of these in detail, but yeah, we're going to check if the person was found and either get the person's company, or if the person wasn't found, we're going to try to find a company based on the name. Once I've done that, I'm going to create 3 things: lead, history note, and a to-do with a next action there. I'm just going to fast forward here and run them all. See how quickly it works through them, and let's head over to Lime and check it out, what happened. So back at the filter here, I'm going to refresh that. We have one new lead at the top there. It's already in status qualify. Great. AI and the workflows just did the work for me there. We've linked it to the person company. We have the AI description of what Lime Technology is about. So I know that when I can start working with them. And the AI qualification is set to medium. I also have a long history note with all the information. So we have at the top here, we have the AI generated lead scoring, ICP matching, the reasoning about why it matched as a medium, and also then the full Perplexity report. So all the information that Perplexity pulled out and gathered in this nice overview. And of course the to-do as well. Here's what we need to do next. Reach out and make sure that the person has the right role and so on. So yeah, that's it. And so this is the workflow. Together with forms, we now have an AI-powered verification of and qualification and creation of leads.
Thank you once again, Frederick, for a great demo. Love to see how AI-powered workflow really can create a lot of value and save our customers time. So amazing. And for everyone who is watching this and are thinking about workflows that they want to create, what's the roadmap look like, and what can they expect?
Yeah, right now we think we're starting off strong here. As I mentioned, we have a lot of different, over 1,000 different apps you can connect to out of the box, but also all the tools you need to integrate to any system you like and so on. We have great capabilities with pulling data out of Lime CRM, putting data back in. As we saw in the demo, react to any form submission and send SMS or email using Lime Marketing. But there are tons more things we want to add here, of course. So that's coming up ahead. We are going to start the beta program right now. We have a few customers that are very early, that are already up and running, and we've seen some good results there. It's been us delivering to them, but we've seen that we can do it smoother and faster. Of course, we want to have customers being able to deliver themselves, to make their own delivery, build themselves. And not just build, but there is a great value of also being able to view what is my integration doing. Today, that is a bit of a black mystery box. You don't really see what's going on, what is my business logic. All of that we want to address and have you be able to touch and feel and just understand what your CRM is actually doing for you. So we're really looking forward to invite customers to build for themselves, but initially in the beta program, it will be Lime delivering for our customers, and we have a lot of exciting things coming up ahead. One thing to mention is a template library. We want to make it even faster and more easy to build and set up your workflows. Why not start by using a template, or just get inspired by looking at different templates of different things you can do? So that's one thing we want to look into. We're not done. Software is never done.
Software is never done. Exactly. Okay, and for those of you who are very interested in getting started, just press the link here in the webinar and we'll take the conversation from there. All right, this is starting to wrap this session up. Philip, is there any final words from you?
I just can't wait to see what you will use workflows for to create really great experiences for your customers.
Couldn't agree more, Philip. And thank you, everyone, for joining us here today. Huge thanks to Philip and Frederick for sharing your knowledge and inspiration. As you might understand, we are super excited about this launch to see the possibilities that we're unlocking with workflows. Press the link, get the conversation started, and we'll take it from there. And if you have any other questions, write it in the chat. We'll stay and answer them. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.